Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Taliesin McKnight, and today I'm going to teach you how to make magical potions for love, money, whatever. Today I'm going to talk about potions and how this works in occult theory and practice. Once again, I would like to remind my viewers that new videos come out every Saturday morning. So if you enjoy my videos, be sure and hit the subscribe button, because every Saturday morning I'll have new videos coming out on magical practice and occult theory and practice. So this is a very ancient practice. It's a practice that you really don't hear a lot about, but it's a very basic, very simple practice. Now, this does not mean if, you drink this drink, you're suddenly going to win $1 million. It does not mean that. So you have to differentiate, Hollywood and the movies and the actual occult theory and principles that are at work. But anyways, so potions. What is a potion? A potion is a drink. It is a liquid that you drink that is supposed to bring some sort of quality. A drink that is supposed to bring love, money, whatever. This is the belief. So, as I always say, I'm not saying that this is the truth or not. My purpose is to relay the information on occultism in theory and practice. So of course it's all for you as an independent thinker. If you believe in this stuff, whether you believe in it or not, try it out. Or if you're just looking at this from a more folklore perspective to learn about the procedures, the process and procedures of magic. A potion is a drink that is supposed to bring you love, money, luck, whatever you're looking for. So, this could be any type of a drink. This could be a tea. Herbal teas are often used as forms of potions. Herbal teas. Teas use the occult properties of herbs. It could be any kind of a liquid. Anything that you drink could be used as a potion. Now, something that's important to understand is that water is a receptive element. Water is a receptive element. So within Western occultism, within Western occult tradition, there are 4 elements. Okay? There are 4 elements. I know this is very basic, and many of you already know this, but I'm just going to go over this real quickly. There are 4 elements, okay? And they are divided into the active and passive elements, okay? So the 4 elements, and then there's the 5th element of spirit, which is another topic. Spirit or ether or akasha isn't really so much an additional element as much as it is an element that pervades and goes beyond the other 4 elements. That's really beyond the scope of this lesson, but understanding the 5th element, or the quintessence, it's not so much additional as much as the 5th element is something that pervades. The other elements are expressions of it. That's really another topic. But in Western occultism, you have duality. Dualism is a very important concept. You have hot and cold, light and dark, masculine and feminine. You have day and night. You have expansion and you have contraction. You have the positive and negative poles. of magnetism. You have attraction and repulsion. Okay? In living things, you have growth from youth. When something is young, it's growing. And once it gets old, it decays. So you have growth and decay, expansion and contraction. You have duality. And it cannot be denied that within nature you see male and female. Even in plants. Even plants have male and female. The principle of duality and polarity. So, within the elements you have projective and receptive. And of course this is symbolized in the sex act in that one sends out energy and one receives that energy. Okay? Now, the receptive elements are water and earth. Now, water does not necessarily mean H2O. Water as an element does not mean H2O necessarily. It refers to liquids. Any type of a liquid could be considered the element of water. Any type of a liquid is considered the element of water. Just as earth is not necessarily just, it can be, and of course symbolically it is the dirt of the ground and all of that, but earth also refers to solids. So solids, liquids, gas, and fire as a transformer of energy. Water and earth are receptive. So one cool thing in occult theory about the element of water is that it receives energy. It holds energy. So if you were to take a glass of water and focus upon your desire, focus upon your goal, and push that energy, direct that energy, focus on your desire and push that energy into the water. According to occult theory, it will hold that energy or essence. In the same way, you can infuse water with occult properties, with spiritual forces. It receives energy and holds it. Okay? The same thing applies with solids. It could be a metal, it could be a rock or a crystal. It receives and holds energy. This is why talismans and amulets are charged. Of course, there's the suggestive force of suggestion, sort of like a placebo. Additionally, there's the occult theory that you charge an amulet or a talisman with the properties of a certain planet, astrological or whatever. You're charging it with force. It holds and retains energy. Now, so earth and water are receptive elements. Now, fire and air they release energy, or they send out energy, or they are carriers of energy. So fire, when you burn something and the smoke is released, it releases the occult properties. Air is the same thing. Well, you see this when you burn different herbs, the occult properties are released into the atmosphere. So the thing about fire and air is that it releases energy. So if you were to charge a candle, again it's earth, it receives your desire, you light the candle, and as the candle burns, it releases the energy built up in the spell. So this is a very important, very basic concept in elementary occultism to understand. You have receptive and projective elements. So one cool thing about liquids, about the element of water, is that it receives energy. And this could be you can drink the water. So you can infuse it with energy and drink it, so that you partake of the essence of whatever energies you've summoned or called forth into the water. You can then drink it. And so in a sense, according to the cult theory, you're drinking prosperity, or you're drinking whatever quality or virtue that you want to bring into your life. So, how do you make a potion? How do you do it? So you get the basic concept. You infuse it with prosperity, love, and you drink it. How do you do this? At its most basic, we'll begin at the most basic and then proceed to the more complex. At the most basic, you just infuse it with energy. Focus on what you want. Take a glass of water in the morning. Let's say that you are a salesman or saleswoman. You want to make sales. In the morning, you take a glass of water. You relax. You focus on success. You bring up images of success. I will make the sales. I'll be successful. Focus on, tapping into success. Focus on success. Hold your glass of water, and you can combine this with breathing exercises. You don't have to, but imagine that an energy of success is filling the glass of water. Take deep breaths. Imagine that success energy is filling this glass of water. Imagine it. Believe. Have faith. Imagine that it's filling with success energy. You may see it as pulsating and just radiating with this energy of success. Do this until you visualize it as just filled to the brim with success and positive energy. Once you feel that the glass of water has received enough of this energy from the astral plane, from the ethers, whatever, then you drink it. So you've built up this quality and then you consume it as a sacrament. Now again, a Eucharist or a magical sacrament is when bread and wine or some type of food and drink is infused with the energies of the divine. Of course, you see this in the Catholic Church. You see it within different traditions. This is, in a sense, a consumable Eucharist, but it can be for a divine purpose. You can imagine it filled with divinity. But you're taking a concept of a Eucharist, bread and wine, turned into the essence of divinity, and consuming it into practical occultism for love, luck, money. Instead of being filled with the energies of the divine, you're filling it with success. You're filling it with love, sexual attractiveness, whatever. You drink it. So, at its most basic, you take a glass of water and you just imagine it pulsating. In the same way, I guess, in chaos magic, you're creating a thought form. You're doing this with a glass of water. You have a vessel to hold that energy and then you drink it. Okay? It's almost like having a talisman that you eat or drink. It's a consumable talisman. Okay? Do this every day. Try it out and see if your sales increase. Now, of course, experiment, but in order for this to work, you have to have a certain faith. You have to believe it, in a sense. Now, this doesn't mean to keep faith if it's just repeatedly not working. That's the thing about magic. Try it out. But while you do it, have faith. But if you do the spell over and over and over and have faith and you still don't see it working, then, you know. But try to have faith. And even just from a placebo effect, you know, doctors give out sugar pills and tell them that it'll do this. And there are certain effects scientifically with the placebo. So if you think of the placebo effect, if you believe that this will boost your sales, then in that sense you'll be more confident. You'll be this person. Let's say you're going on a date. Let's say you want to be sexually attractive. Same concept, glass of water. Close your eyes, deep breaths. Imagine it filled with sexual seductive energy. Imagine it filling with seductive energy. Do this until you see it pulsating, filled with this energy of seductive sexuality. Then drink it. You're creating a magical talisman that you can consume and drink. You are creating a practical magic Eucharist or a practical magic communion. That's the most basic. Now, if you want to get a little bit more complex, you can combine this with the occult properties of different herbs. So, and this sort of goes into the as above, so below. Again, there's so many different meanings behind these symbols. As above, so below. In Renaissance magic dealing with talismans, there was the belief that through the occult properties of different stones, herbs, associated symbols, that this materia or matter has an affinity with various astrological bodies, zodiac signs, planets, that if you make the matter resonate at that energy with the associated colors, stones, crystals, herbs, that it attracts that energy. So as above, so below, through the principle of correspondence, if you make something a talisman of the appropriate metal associated with Venus, with symbols of Venus etched onto it, anointed with an oil of Venus at the proper astrological time and moment, that this all helps to create a suitable body to receive the spiritual forces that you're invoking. You don't have to do this, but this is the magical theory of occultism that could be applied. So, using this principle, you can use the occult properties of different herbs. Of course, making sure that it's not poisonous. You do not want to drink a poisonous herb, y'all. And 2, you're not allergic. Very important. Don't drink something toxic that's poisonous. Do your research. Be sure you're not allergic, because you can die. And that would not be good, y'all. You don't want to die drinking a potion. So, the occult properties of herbs. There is the theory in occultism that various herbs, just like they have medicinal properties, according to the theory, some relieve headaches, some make you drowsy, some give you energy. There's also the theory that they also have occult properties. So that some herbs are for love, romance, some herbs are money drawing, some are for luck, some are for protection. So being sure that you're not allergic and that it's not poisonous or toxic, you could make a tea, and then infuse it with what you're seeking. So if you're wanting money, you can use the occult properties of herbs in a tea. So it has those qualities of the herbs, and then you do the same thing. You infuse it with that energy, or whatever, for whatever you're trying to do. Money, drawing herbs, love herbs, whatever. Now, if you want to get a little bit more complex, you can combine this magical practice with alchemy, with Western alchemy, with plant alchemy. So you can also apply this with the planetary days and hours, with making an elixir, with making a tincture, where the alcohol draws out the occult properties of the herbs. You can do this with, so of course, elixirs and tinctures and things like that would also apply to a magical practice. So plant alchemy, okay? The use of spagyrics and plant alchemy. This is especially within a Western sort of Hermetic, Western esoteric tradition. You could apply this planetary magic and all of this and ritual magic with plant alchemy. So you're making an elixir of Mars or an elixir of the sun. So again, this is getting a little bit more complex. I really don't have time here to talk about how to make a tincture, how to do spagyrics. I may make videos on that in the future. But this is the basic concept. You have your vessel. It is a womb or vessel, to use sexual energy. Fill it with energy. You have a body. You have to give it a soul or a life in a sense. It is receptive, just like the cup is receptive to the water. You have your liquid. Infuse it with a desire. You can do an actual invocation, a planetary invocation over the water. So try this out. You may have a magical seal of Jupiter or whatever, and you can do a ritual invocation of the powers of Jupiter or whatever, and invoke it into, instead of a talisman, invoke it into a liquid and then consume it. This could be a daily Eucharist, but instead of for magical purposes, for practical purposes. So that is the basic lesson, and that is potions within magic and occult theory and practice. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and that is it for today. Once again, new videos come out every Saturday morning. Now, if you enjoy my videos, please show your support by giving a like and sharing. I really appreciate that if you would share and like my videos. So that is a way that you could show support. And if not, that's fine too. So whatever the case may be. So that is today's lesson on potions in magic. So much more is to come, y'all. Have a great day.